had a chance to have our PLC meeting, but I wanted to show you the book. So it's called The Zen Teacher. I really would like to do this as our book club today, or this year, sorry. And it says creating focus, simplicity, and tranquility in the classroom. So I'm going to read this to you so you can put it on in the background and do other stuff at the same time. So I'm going to read you the introduction. So the introduction starts with a Zen saying, "The goal is the path." By the time I retired, I will have spent more than 30 years of my life teaching in a classroom. Furthermore, I will have spent the majority of those years in the same classroom. And when I plop down in my lazy boy and toss the shawl across my knees, I will have taught nearly 6,000 students. Thrown in summer school, extended assignments, serving as club advisor, and tutoring students after school, and I wouldn't be surprised that number was double. Working in education is different than many other jobs that, unless one becomes an administrator, a teacher typically enters the classroom in early 20s and leaves in his early to mid 60s exactly where he started. In other words, there is no corporate ladder to speak of. So, in 1997, after realizing that a mortgage and a family would take more money than my teaching credentials alone could provide, I earned my master's degree in educational administration. I realized early on, however, that the office experience wasn't for me. It wasn't the long hours supervising school dances, handling student referrals, monitoring behavior problems, or even dealing with the endless bureaucracy and piles of paperwork that deterred me. Rather, it would have taken me out of the classroom, and teaching is my passion. I wanted to be in a classroom with students hovering over a text, a project, or a piece of writing, our sleeves rolled up, toiling together to create something, or, if we were lucky, to make something better. To me, that is teaching. That is the path. In our profession, the movement is not up, but out. Our influence in the world has a ripple effect, like concentric circles on the surface of a lake. The students we encounter enter their adulthood deeply changed by the experience that they have with us. We leave a footprint, and thanks to our students, that footprint gets on to the future. And while it's difficult to pay your mortgage with a metaphorical footprint, it is a pretty profound way to spend your career and to, as Steve Jobs says, make a dent in the universe. We all know dispassionate teachers who do it for the paycheck and for whom teaching does not even begin to approach a calling. I feel sorry for those folks, which is true. While it's true that they are still capable of solid, competent work, I mourn the absence of the passion that would make their, and by extension their students, experience transcendent. I wish they knew the joy of the effort, the sweet exhaustion of the process, and the motivating frustration of the almost right lesson, and the sleepy eyed feeling of satisfaction that comes from knowing you're on an important, meaningful journey, even if they are, like me, driving a 1998 Buick Century that has bald tires, a digital odometer that died 6 months after purchasing the car, and a steering wheel that is crumbling to pieces in their hands. And even though I am sometimes embarrassed to rattle up to the grocery store, I know there is nobility in my pursuits. As teachers, we are given an amazing opportunity to influence young people and profoundly affect how they see the world. It's an awe-inspiring privilege, but it's also a challenge. In the last decade, I've seen a number of excellent teachers break down, crash and burn, or just plain leave the profession. This is a result of the stressors they encounter at their school or in their classrooms, and also because the industry has, in many ways, gone plain logo. My school has also witnessed a significant drop in the number of student teacher applicants, a sobering indication that fewer people view teaching as a viable career. It's a shame. That's why I began the Zen Teacher blog and eventually wrote this book. I am devoted to showing teachers how to maintain a sense of focus, simplicity, and tranquility in the face of the obstacles and problems that the modern American educator encounters daily. I want to show them that they cannot just survive, but thrive in the classroom. Teachers do incredibly important and influential work, and they do it almost entirely devoid of the concrete cultural values rewards associated with professional employment, such as a big paycheck, the luxury car, or the corner office with the stunning view. Despite the limited tangible rewards, there is perhaps no career as fulfilling to the soul as education. This noble profession can provide a deep sense of Zen tranquility because we know that the ripples we create today can influence and even improve tomorrow. The path we travel day in and day out with our students and the manner in which we travel is important. And if the goal is the path, then it helps to love